I can't really explain it. It's hard to unless you go through it. But depression, when you feel like nobody's there, despite my family being so close, and they're willing to do whatever. But when you're in that headspace and you're in that dark spot, you feel alone. You feel like nobody's there, nobody cares. So I guess for me in those years, that's why I turned to drinking and pills and cocaine, like anything that I could get my hands on to numb that feeling of embarrassment, where I wouldn't have to explain myself to my family as to why my life was like unraveling.
What's up, visionary? Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I'm Tonya, and I'm joined by my wonderful husband,
Lamont.
and we hope you're doing well as usual. Today's conversation.
Why so many men feel alone in the connected world. That's what we want to unpack.
Yes, and where are our manners? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you've been here with us, then you know it's all about healthiness, healthy relationships. On this channel, Lamont and I strive. That's our purpose.
To help people be more relational in an unrelational world. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because the truth is, if it's not transformed, it's going to be transferred to future generations, and we just can't have it.
Yep, so it's on us, and it's on you who are watching this video to change the narrative so we can make a better generation.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you got grandkids, you could be the one, nieces and nephews. Yeah. Sometimes it's not the people close to them. Sometimes it's somebody else that's close to the people that they're close to.
Yeah.
Which is you.
Yeah. So what we want to talk about is this male loneliness epidemic, because I see people talking about it on social media, on the different. Some people going through it, some people talking about it, but I don't really hear nobody talking about a solution.
Yeah,
and that's what we all about, solutions. So recognizing what's going on and finding that solution. So let's talk about why this happening. Because truth is, there's a generation of men just walking around here feeling unseen. They feeling misunderstood, emotionally disconnected, and most of them don't even have the words to say, I'm lonely.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's the big step to say that you're lonely. Mm-hmm. So then when you say, once you acknowledge the wound or acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the thing that's holding you back, then only then can you get the information you need to move forward and change that. You know, Tanya, what I'm seeing more and more, especially among many of the young age, is there's a loneliness that doesn't it's a loneliness out here that doesn't always look like being alone.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it looks like men who go to work.
Yeah.
It looks like men who handle business.
Yeah.
It looks like men who scroll social media all to play a role that they don't want to seem lonely. Mm-hmm. But in the end, when things get quiet, when you cut off the social media, here they are alone.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody to really trust to talk to. And this isn't just about not having friends for many people.
Yeah.
Because they, like I said, they go to work, they handle their business, so they're among friends. But it's the emotional isolation that makes a man feel like he's alone. Men who are never taught how to build safe emotional connections without feeling weak or feeling like they're exposed or they're simping. See, from a young age, many boys are taught to man up, stop crying, handle it like a man. And when they're taught that, they begin to suppress their emotions in the process. And when you start suppressing emotions as an adult, then you bringing unhealed things into your adult life. Now you're a husband. Now you're a father. Now you're a leader. And we've mastered the art of not healing. We think healing is only for the weak. We think therapy is only for men. Don't go to therapy. You hear this thing going around. But here's the thing. Silence destroys men from the inside out. When you're silent about things that's hurting you, when you're silent about things that's hindering you, then you rot from the inside out. And we don't want that. We want to be, if you, like I said, if you feel alone, say to yourself, I'm feeling alone.
Yeah.
And when you learn to suppress emotions, you're not processing it.
Yeah.
So we gotta not suppress our emotions so we can process it.
Yeah.
And we can process, then we can process ourselves out of this loneliness epidemic that we're feeling.
Yeah. So to get to the roots, that's what you just said. And I think that's what so many of us women misunderstood what's really happening here, because we say things like, he don't open up to me, or he don't open up, or he's just not emotionally available. And we don't realize that he just might not even know that he's not. I mean, he might not even know how to actually open up.
And I think a lot of men are faced with that, not knowing how to open up.
Yeah.
And yet women don't know how to create the safe space for men to open up.
Yeah.
Things like this got to be cultivated.
Yeah.
They don't just happen for most people.
They don't. And it's because we live in a culture that rewards performance over presence. Yeah. A man values is often tied to what he can produce, what he can provide, what he can protect, and not who he actually is. So even when he's surrounded by his people, his family, it can be his co-workers, it can even be his wife, he can still feel like he's alone.
And then you got social media that comes into play.
Yep. And it, social media is supposed to connect us, but it actually does the opposite.
Yeah.
It actually widens the gap.
No connection.
Yeah.
Because we feel like that connection that we get on social media will sacrifice our loneliness.
Yeah.
And then we get off social media, we're like, I'm still alone. This social media connection ain't good. This text, and that's why I really encourage people to get off the text and stuff, man. That text, and I feel like that's for little kids, but us adults 40 and 50 years old, we gravitate to, I know we gravitated to connect with the youth, but also we're using that to connect with everybody now. So if you really want to feel more connected, besides the social media, then text people instead of call people instead of, even people don't birthday wishes on social media.
Yeah.
You got your mama there say happy birthday on social media instead of picking up the phone and call you.
Yeah.
So we got to get off that social media, because it's actually creating a wider gap than connecting us.
Yeah. So see, men, and women do this too, but men scroll through highlighted reels of people and they pretend, people pretending to be happy. Yeah. So they make the man begin to question their worth.
Yeah.
So they end up comparing their silent struggles to somebody else's filtered life. And that disconnection only grows deeper.
Yeah. The more you on social media, the more you looking at everybody else's life, you are disconnected from yours.
Yeah.
And then when you come back to yours, you realize yours is still the same. That's why you got to focus on your life, your purpose, your direction, and where you want to go. And it all starts by being present.
Yeah.
It all starts with awareness.
Yeah. And other people's life is more than likely, a lot of times, fairy tales.
Yeah.
It just look good. You're not seeing what they're going through or growing through offline.
Yeah. And a lot of these like I said, this really gears to a lot of these podcasts. I'm like, man, these men out here doing all these podcasts, talking about don't all these women ain't nothing. But they online doing hours and hours of podcasts.
Yeah.
These red pill, like they have time to be with somebody. So you can't, but see, people look at that and they say, oh, these men are doing up. These men are just as lonely as you. They just know how to talk on the mic. But when they turn off that mic, they go back to their big old house or their little house and they're making them sick figures and they are alone.
Yeah.
And the Bible says this is not good for a man to be alone. He'll make you a helper. The woman is the man's helper, but the man is the man's sword. So that means iron sharpens iron. A man must be with the woman as his companionship, but he also need to learn how to relate with other men because men sharpen men. But you can't get sharpened by these boys online, these little podcasts, because these people are just as lonely as you. They just know how to talk better. They know how to make it look good.
Yeah, and the key thing he just said was boys. I know everything he said was good stuff, but these are boys.
Yeah.
Out here on these podcasts trying to say man things.
Yeah.
But they boys.
Yeah. And here's how you know, like I say, even them, like I said, when a man is speaking from, even a woman, when they speaking from a wounded state, don't take their advice like that.
Yeah.
Because they're not seeing clear. They still hurt. So therefore they projecting they hurt on other people.
Right.
Hurt people. Don't get divorced. Don't get married to this woman. Man, you still hurt from the woman. You still hurt.
So how do you notice that? A lot of them bitter.
Yeah.
You can see the bitterness and the frustration just based off of what they saying.
Yeah.
Any man on here calling women these or just so bitter.
Or building a whole channel about women or building a whole channel about men is a bitter, wounded person.
Yeah.
Now, they may have some good advice, but the lens of which they're giving the advice from is wounded.
Yeah.
And hurt people hurt people. So that wounded person they want company. As they say, misery, we all don't like men. We all don't like women. Misery loves company. So you got to be careful because this may be the very reason why you lonely or you feel alone in a connected world.
Yeah. So let's discuss some of the consequences because, it's the sad part.
Here's the thing. This kind of loneliness does not stay silent forever.
Yeah.
It starts showing up in other ways. Mm-hmm. How does it show up? Anger. Number one, it shows up anger. You get angry and now you go in here and you get a mic, you get a podcast, and you get your little camera, you turn it on. And now all of a sudden you projected your anger because somebody broke your heart. Maybe you got divorced and you bitter. Mm-hmm. And now you're not teaching people why it didn't work for you. You just telling people to avoid it altogether. See, that's from a wound. That's an angry state. And now that you angry, you irritable. You irritable. And now that you withdraw and you want everybody else to withdraw from relationships because you bitter. Your relationship didn't work out. Maybe something you did or something you didn't do. Either be the case. You played a part. But now you in this, these things are showing up with anger, irritability, withdrawal, and all that. You might even be cheating. You can't stay consistent. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be committed to nobody because you angry and you lonely, and your loneliness will keep you projecting out these things. Mm-hmm. And you may even be addicted to things.
Yeah.
Like porn.
Yeah.
Sure. Or drugs, alcohol, these things are escape routes for you feeling alone. And see, you could be surrounded by people to feel alone inside your heart, inside your soul. When you disconnect from after you stop cheating or being with that woman, you go back home and you're like, I'm still alone. This didn't sacrifice because I'm still alone. And what the world calls toxic masculinity is a lot of times just actually unhealed pain, trying to find a voice in all these things we're doing. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I get with this woman, I can escape the pain.
Yeah.
Maybe if I just sleep around with a whole bunch of women, I can find peace and abundance of people, even though I'm still feeling alone, even by being with these women.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, guys. You know why you're alone? Because you have no purpose. A man must find his purpose quickly. But more than that, men must find peace. Peace within themselves. The need for peace will keep you sane.
Yeah.
I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm failing. I don't know how to fix this without being judged. See, if you don't want peace, then you will judge yourself. Without peace, you judge yourself. And that's where getting in the community of people come in. You got to surround yourself in a community of people, men, clubs. There are plenty of clubs that you can join into. Just Google. Instead of you scrolling social media, actually get off of social media and go actually connect with the men's group. There's plenty of groups in different cities. There's plenty of groups. Now, I ain't talking about these old, excuse me, masculinity groups where they talking about showing you how to be a man.
You seen that Salt and Beard? Remember that Salt and Beard?
Yeah,
Salt and Pepper game.
Yeah, Salt and Pepper game. I'm talking. I ain't talking about none of that stuff like that. I'm talking about
none of that grandiose.
well, y'all actually doing something besides like doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
This teaches you how to build yourself.
Yeah,
making it count, being self-esteem. You actually being a productive person in society, man. You can never go wrong helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Helping people more often than not, your purpose is going to be geared around a service or something that you can do to help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you're lonely because you're trying to fulfill your own need. And our fulfillment comes, human beings' connection, fulfillment comes with being a service to somebody else. Eventually, if all you want somebody to do is be a service to you, then you're gonna be lonely. Yeah. Because they're gonna eventually leave. Then you're gonna be alone again. So be of service to somebody else. That's how, and get in men's group, bowling, pickleball. They got a lot of men. They actually got a lot of men's stuff, men's groups out here. If only you go looking for it, not scrolling social media, and get around, like I said, get around people that sharpen you up, that help you, lift you up in your emotionally side, and so you can go in there and talk to people. Because sometimes we just need to talk, man. Talking opens up the door for healing. If we don't talk, then we ball and everything. Then so, but when you get inside a men's group and start talking to people, then you will become sharper. And the Bible says, Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so shall one man sharpen another. But how can we sharpen each other if we keep isolating ourselves? We get dull. So that's why you got to be among men so you won't get dull by isolating yourself and scrolling through social media and disconnected from the world instead of connecting to the world.
Mm-hmm. The relational gap, because there is a relational gap. And I'll be honest, as women, we got a part to play in all this too. We say we want a man who is emotionally open to us, but sometimes when they don't open up, we criticize them or we minimize how they feel. We can do some stuff like call for weak. You know, women, we got that mouth. We'll call them soft. We'll call them weak. But we don't realize that we're actually reinforcing that these walls we say we want to tear down.
Yeah. And like we said, it shows up in anger,
withdrawal.
Addiction, withdrawal. If you don't create that space, then your partner runs to these things. Or if they're not in a relationship, then they run to these things to cope with the loneliness that they're feeling with the relationship with themselves. Because some people can't sit with themselves because they don't like themselves. How do you like yourself? You find your purpose.
Yeah. So ladies, remember emotional safety. It's not just going to be about listening. It's going to be about us restraining ourselves from saying different things, respecting our partner, and also reassuring them. Okay, we want to say things like, "You safe here. You can be honest. I won't use it against you if you are vulnerable with me. I won't bring it back up. I'm not going to use it against you because healing happens when love becomes a safe place for both of you."
And a lot of times, you being vulnerable, partner being vulnerable. Yeah. Sometimes it won't be vulnerability. How you cultivate vulnerability is something that opens it up versus something that closes it down.
Yeah, you know, it would be hard for a partner not to return the favor, reciprocate that vulnerability if one person is vulnerable and they just keep me. It's kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. And here it is safe, you know.
And you create reciprocate. And like I said, BT, we got a lot of stuff, AIs, all the things. So you got all these things where you can actually give me 5 questions that me and my partner can open up to be more vulnerable. AI is here, our friend now. Mm-hmm. If you can use, you know how to use AI, you will make a better relationship. You will make more smarter, efficient kids. Learn how to incorporate AI into your relationship. And we're going to do a webinar about that probably the next 2 weeks or so. They're going more in details how to use AI to enhance your relationship and raise more resilient kids.
Mm-hmm. So let's discuss the spiritual connection a bit, because spiritual connection is it. And see, male loneliness, that epidemic isn't just about emotions, it's spiritual.
Yeah. When we disconnect from God, we disconnect from our purpose.
Yep, and that's exactly what it is. It's a disconnect between men and their divine identity.
Yep.
Not just their identity, their divine identity. It's when a man loses sight of who he is in God.
Yep. And he starts trying to fulfill that void with everything else.
Yeah.
He started chasing the money.
Yeah.
He started chasing the women. He started working like a workaholic. He started chasing status.
Yeah.
Some people even open up ministries.
Yeah.
They start preaching.
Yeah.
All to try to find something that fulfills that void in them.
Mm-hmm.
But they still feel that void still leaves them feeling lonely.
Yeah, and it's gonna make them feel lonely. They're gonna always feel lonely until they connect with the one who created them. They're gonna always feel lonely and empty. Psalm 68:6 says, God sets the lonely in families.
Yeah, that means he will never intend for men to walk alone.
Yeah.
He will never intend for men. He did not intend for men to walk alone.
Yeah.
He designed us to be in community. And that community is, guess what, in that community? It's going to be accountability.
Oh, yes.
In that community, it's going to be connection. So if you're alone, you're not in a community. Mm-hmm. But we have to stop letting pride. Here's the thing. Pride is the biggest killer.
It's big.
And I was just talking to my people the other day, man. I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, he told me, man, you don't know my girl. You don't know this and all that. And I said, man, your woman is just like every other woman. But the thing that is hindering your relationship is you and your pride and your ego and the pain that keeps you from wanting it. I said, man, I can help you. If you only put that pride down and be a steward and talk to somebody who actually been successful at it.
Yeah.
But men, that pride kill you every time. And guess what? Pride comes before the fall. For men who don't get help, end up sitting in the situation. You don't know everything. And that's the biggest killer of people. That they think they know everything. They think that, they said regular relationship problems. I know this, right? And I think I got other people. I don't know situation going on. I ain't talking. I'm talking to him recently, but soon. But I think I heard a situation going on with him, and the reason why it's going on with him because he does not talk. He don't know how to open his mouth. He hold it all in, sitting on this little ego, and pride and shame taking over. Now he don't want to say nothing because it's almost at the boiling point. Now he's ashamed, and then all of a sudden things gonna boil over till he can't to the boiling point, and now you're probably gonna be alone because your pride and ego got in the way, and you do not want to ask for help. Mm-hmm. If you're feeling alone, if your relationship is out of whack and you feel like it's going downhill, the best thing you can do before you be in that lonely state is ask for help. Ask for help.
Yeah. And a lot of times, people talk about the problems, but they don't get solutions. And here on Visions of Love, Relationships with Lamont and I want to give solutions. So what can you do? You can start by being aware, okay? Just like we're doing today, okay? Be aware, bring awareness to yourself. Be curious about yourself,
Why are you alone? Why do you feel alone?
Yeah. We stop judging and we start listening. Yeah. So that's another solution. Stop judging and start listening.
And sometimes, like I said, that means some people alone because you judging everybody else. Mm-hmm. So that may be the very reason why you're alone. Stop judging people and start listening to people because guess what? Nobody is perfect.
Yeah. We can also create spaces where men can be vulnerable without being shamed. And looking at stuff today, I don't really see too many positive spaces for men.
Online.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, online. Yeah, safe space for men. Yeah.
Right. To where they won't feel shame for spilling their guts and how they, really feel about this situation, the male loneliness epidemic. You know, they can't really talk about it without getting a backlash from other men.
And I think it's more or less the places they trying to go to get they like I was to get it out. They think it's a safe space, but it's not a safe space.
Yeah.
Most of these people that on podcasts are doing podcasts to get views. It's not going to be a safe space.
Yeah.
You need to get behind the wall, get off the internet, and connect with somebody on a personal one-to-one level so you can create safe space like that. That would be offline.
Yeah.
Or on YouTube and Zoom where you can get a more intimate setting where you can actually be in a safe space. Yeah. Online and you on a podcast, they got an open mic and it's live and stuff. That's really not a safe space. That's an open space. You got to create a safe space so you can actually share it. You'll be surprised 1 or 2 times a good talk, 2 or 3 hours, a good couple of sessions that you really open yourself and be vulnerable, how much you can get done and how much growth you can have in just a couple of sessions, especially for a man.
Yeah. And man, Lamont is available. Yep. Hit him up. Hit Lamont up. You need something?
Well, we're lucky we have a 20-minute call that you can actually speak to me, give you a 20-minute free session. We'll get on there and we'll get to the bottom of the stuff, man. Like I said, I don't got time to waste, but you find our calendar's open. Book a call. You can say, I want to book a call with Lamont personally, talk, and I'll open up and create that safe space where we can get some stuff off your chest and we can get you moving forward.
Yeah, again, like we encourage that. We encourage counseling, mentorship, brotherhood.
Yeah.
Definitely coaching.
Yeah.
And faith-filled conversations.
Yeah. Men's group, like I said, even if, like I said, you may be going to a church, you may be going to a small church, but there's global churches online where you can find men's group. So sometimes you can do online stuff within the church. You got to keep it spiritual, not just some regular thing like macho man stuff. No, keep it spiritual. Whether or not here's the thing, you might not be that spiritual, but you can still get inside spiritual groups because the lessons are life lessons.
Yeah.
A lot of times the thing is spiritual. You got the God side, but I'm not going there for the God side. I'm going there for the life lessons that's still in there, whether you're spiritual or not. The life lessons are the life lessons. These are things that work. And community of people is one of the things that always work, time tested.
Yeah. And just relax, especially if you're looking for somebody, or, it's not like a tug of war, a war against women and men. That's not the thing, man. You can humble yourself, to being able to have a decent conversation with a woman. You don't have to be so angry, so mad.
Well,
if you're getting rejected, it's not the end of the world. Maybe it's just not the time for you or something. Just move on, but you don't have to do that in a unhealed way. Even though you unhealed, you don't have to project that all the time, because when men heal, families heal. Think about that. Men are the leaders.
Yeah.
And when families heal, generations are restored. And that's the goal, because we're not going to be here forever. What do we want to leave behind?
Yeah.
We don't want to. I couldn't imagine what's going on today to be going on years later. My grandkids get older. For real, I see a lot of bitterness, no relationships, no kids being born. I mean, that's going to lead to no generations, the demise of this world.
Yeah. And now that it's more like it's going to lead to a lot of bitter people.
Yeah.
Men that's bitter, you got a generation of lonely men that's stuck on this pride, that's stuck on this ego.
Yeah, drop it.
Don't want to connect with people because they think they better than people. Or some people, they connecting with people, but because they've been so lonely and they've been so getting all this information from the internet, this red pill content, or these maybe not even red pill, but just men with egos trying to tell a man how to be a man, and that don't work. The goal is of a man must learn to be relational. So what? He can relate to people.
Yeah.
If you can't relate to people, then you can be lonely, man, and you will be alone for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, fellas, if you are listening to this, don't carry it all alone.
Yeah.
God didn't design for us to suffer in silence.
Yeah.
You are seen, you are valued, and your story matters.
Yeah.
You will find you don't have to be alone.
And ladies, instead of asking, why won't he talk to me? Try asking, have I made it safe for him to? Because healing ain't just about fixing somebody. It's about inviting them into safety and truth.
Because this lonely epidemic is curable.
Yeah.
Through awareness, through faith, through love, but most importantly, to relational, intentional connection.
And that's what we're all about here on our Visions of Love podcast, building real connections before life breaks you apart. Connections, connections, connections. We need more connections.
Relational connections.
Yeah.
So how do we be more relational? We get the skills to be more relational. If you feel like you're having trouble relating to the opposite sex or relating to people in general, we encourage you to take the first step. Your first step is to sign up for our free mini course, man. Our free mini course is really designed for couples. So if you're a couple and you're in a relationship, you're like, I'm in a relationship, but I feel alone. Gain a new perspective on love. It's all about the lens of which we look at our partner through.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking at you're looking through the wrong lens, you can always get the wrong perspective.
Yep. So if this episode touched you, share it with somebody who also needs to hear this. Okay? All right. And so this.
So check out the mini course at loveiscoaching.com/love.
Yep.
Because healing starts with what?
Awareness.
But
it grows through
relational connection.
Yeah.
Relational, intentional
Intentional
connection. Because if you're not intentional, then you're going through things.
Yeah.
And you probably won't be relational.
Yeah.
You're going to divorce. Like they say, 70% of women file for divorce. So you're going to end up lonely because you're going through things and you're not being relational about it. Intentional, relational about it.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been another one.
Yeah, vision.
And together they build the life that they love. Go build.
Go build.
See you on the next one.